Today, my guest, James Kyson, named as one of Hollywood's 25 hottest. You likely know him from his work on Hawaii Five-0, Justified, and of course, smash hit Heroes. He is crazy versatile, having won over audiences on television, film, stage. He's an athlete. You can check him out on Insta, on Twitter right now, doing all kinds of things with moving our bodies during these strange pandemic times. It's awesome. So he's an athlete, a musician, father, husband, seeker of knowledge, risk, adventure. And on top of all of that, you are an ambassador for several philanthropic organizations. James, wow.
What an intro. First of all, thank you so much. And could you just travel with us whenever I tour or something? Because that was like the most amazing opening ever.
Thank you. Thanks. Hey, a good intro is important. So knowing that you were heavily interested in biographies and fables from various cultures, the first question was kind of tailored for you. So here is the first question if you're ready.
Sure.
If you could be a character from any fable or biography for just 1 week, who would you be and why?
Wow, what a great question. So when I was growing up, there was this book that my parents got for me that I just read over and over. It was called Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And it's basically like the Chinese version of the Lord of the Rings. It's like this epic tales of how three countries became one, and there's like adventure and battles and brotherhood and just incredible stories. And so I read it probably over 100 times. And there was a character in there that I just really admire. I think he was like the middle brother. It was like the three brothers, and the middle brother was like known as like the warrior, and he was like one of the best sword fighter like in the country, and he would be one of like the generals whenever they went into battle, and you know, he had this long beard and he has such a presence about him, and I just remember, I mean, he probably was my first hero growing up, you know, from a story.
What a fabulous character. I have to read these books now. Are they in English? Is there a translation?
I believe so, yeah. I believe they've, like Lord of the Rings, I think they've been translated into like many different languages for many different countries.
Oh man, I'm excited. All right, I'm gonna look for that middle brother, and hopefully there's a movie adaptation. I will be looking for you to play that character.
That would be, oh my God, that would be a dream come true.
Right? We need to make this happen. All right. So question number 2, if you could ask one question of anyone in the world, including historical figures, people you haven't met, etc., and be 100% certain that you were getting the truth, what question would you ask and to whom?
Wow. First of all, these are great questions. My God.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I mean, talk about a conversation starter.
I didn't give you any time to think about this ahead of time, so.
No, I love these. I would have to ask Jesus. You know, I would really like to ask him, like, what is your true purpose here on earth? And because, you know, 2,000 years later, I mean, you know, like he's one of the most talked about people in history.
Right.
And yet we don't have any recordings, or, you know what I mean? We've never heard directly from the man. It's always like, you know, the disciples that, you know, told stories and so on. And so it would be fascinating to literally, I mean, you could say he was the first rock star in human history, no right? And the first one to really be immortalized like that. You know, he was a celebrity, a healer. I just find it so fascinating. So I would love to ask him, you know, like what was your childhood like? And, you know, where did things turn for you, where you felt this calling and you felt like you needed to go on this mission to be on purpose, you know? And like literally taking out all the religious connotations, all of that, just seeing him as an influencer and a leader. And just like what was your hero's journey? That's what I'd love to ask him.
Wow, what a great answer. Oh my gosh. And on the spot too. I'm sitting here going, I don't know, like I'd ask JFK. I have nothing. So bravo for that.
Oh,
Brought it
thank you.
instantaneously there. Okay. Third and final question. If you could only say 3 words for the rest of your life, what 3 words would you choose?
I love you. That's easy.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's something that I like to say every day to my wife and my daughter and, my friends and people around me. And yeah, I feel like it's so funny because it's such a cliche, it all comes down to love. But if you really think about it, and if you think about the vibration of the universe, and I was just thinking about this the other day, like I even think about like the sun, right? Which is just like one element of this ginormous universe that has like billions of stars and billions of other suns, and how it provides energy for 8 billion humans and however many more billions of species on Earth to live and survive. And I think Rumi has a quote that says it never asks for anything back. The sun just consistently shines on you, and I'm not quoting exactly, but it shines on you every day. It's steadfast, it's consistent, and it doesn't ask for anything back. And yesterday I was thinking about how like that's true generosity. That's a generosity that I don't know if I could ever embody. And it was just inspiring, and I just feel like, wow, that is the vibration of the universe in my mind. That's love, that's joy, that's generosity, that's kindness, and I feel like it all kind of exists in this one frequency.
What a beautiful perspective. I've never thought about the sun as being that sort of selfless giver, but you're exactly right. It's pouring into everything here that allows us to do all the things that we can do.
And I also love that it's strong, like it's powerful. It's not just like some subservient doormat. It's just like it has so much energy that it can't help but give. Yeah. But like, hey, if you get too close, you will get burned.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, better respect my power. You know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful. That's such a beautiful perspective. We think so much of vulnerability and giving as and kindness, all of these woo-woo-ish things as being weak. And it's like, oh no, it is the sun. It is the force of all life. I think that is cool. Love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So this chat is a bit of a gauntlet run, and unsurprisingly, you've navigated, of course, with flying colors. But the second part is where most of our fears bubble up. So our brains tell us these stories that are often no longer relevant or useful for the modern world, including how uncomfortable it is to just sit in silence with a stranger and uninterrupted eye contact. So I'm going to invite you, James, as I ask all of our guests to sit with me now in just silent, unbroken eye contact for the next 2 minutes. I'm going to throw a 2-minute timer up on the phone and just experience anything that comes up, and we'll talk about it afterwards. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm game.
All right, I'm going to start the timer, and timer begins now. That's it. 2 minutes.
Wow.
How you doing?
Good.
Tell me about that experience for you. What did you experience?
So many things. I felt really connected. I felt at home. I felt like I felt presence both from you and myself. There's a sense of commonality and like almost like a shared, I want to say humanity, but I felt like I knew you even though we just met.
Yeah.
And I felt like I got to also experience your personality even though it was silent.
Isn't it
like your spunkiness, your generosity, your depth of your soul, also like
Jeez.
like sense of like fun and mischief and
okay, you nailed that one.
yeah, and like sense of humor and And it was so interesting because like when we began, I just kind of held, had my hands like this, like when you meditate. And
Right.
then literally like after 10 or 15 seconds, it just like opened up towards you. It was
Wow.
as if it was as if like, I don't know, it just like the experience totally disarmed me, and I just it like opened me up like a flower. That sounds so corny, but
Oh, no,
like my hands literally went like this, like
that is
voluntarily.
that is such an honor. Like, I am beyond honored by all of those words. And I had a similar experience. I mean, I shared with you earlier on the phone when we chatted for a bit, like, I have a very different experience every time I do this. And I was just enamored. I was like, this is so great. I am really, I, their smile made me feel at home. That's what hit me, is this sense of home, like
Mm.
comfort, and I'm safe and everything is okay and this is fun, and oh, I can't wait to go grab drinks later. And I'm like, wait a second, I don't even know you. This is wild. So, and
Yeah.
then I giggled because I felt really peaceful and still right towards the end. And then somebody outside just like lit up some, I don't know what it was, like a weed whacker or something. I was like, oh, there's reality. But but it was very
Yeah. Yeah.
wonderful connecting. Thank you for that. I
No,
appreciate it.
thank you. And it's amazing how, like, just even within 2 minutes, it can transport you. Like you said, I feel like everything almost kind of like blurred out of focus, like the background,
Yeah,
and it just kind of like, it almost kind of like left time and space
the
for like a
noise.
couple minutes. Yeah. And I mean, it makes me wonder if that is sort of like the vibration that where we all came from, that's kind of like the soul vibration. And then, we decided to come into this earth to like embody this human body,
Right.
you know, but then like, so whether when we meditate or pray, where, we have these type of connections, it's the thing that kind of like takes us back to that vibration. And we're like, oh, wow. Yeah. This
Yeah.
is like where we came from.
Right. It's to me, it's getting out of that, the fears that kept us alive for so long, and getting back to that root of just wait, even beyond, having to stay alive. What is it like just to be, just to
Mm,
exist in this space, independent of this body, independent of this lifetime or universe or whatever you want to say? Like,
yeah.
what is it like? Because we are so surrounded by so much noise and so much threat, I think, to our brains of like, you can't do this, you got to do that. Or sitting with another human being and just actually studying them, just being in their space, breathing, even though we're in obviously very separate, safe places, being in that, and just sitting together in that moment is intimate and beautiful in a way that I think we rarely get to connect with.
Yeah, it makes me think about, because my wife often asks me for eye contact,
Ah,
and she's usually the one that kind of remembers and really values it,
hmm,
and I just feel like how transformational relationships would be, whether it's romantic or business partnerships or whatever,
yep.
if people practice this regularly.
Yeah.
How different would first dates go if this was just like a part of a regular ritual, right?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it would be a great curator, because immediately they'll be like, ah, no, that's way too freaky for me,
this
or they'll
is
be like, really,
this is
you would
anxiety.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like you would know, like here's a connective element for us.
That's exactly, and I think because it's so uncomfortable, it's something that, like, when even asking people to do it with me, I'm like, okay, so here's the setup, and I have to get over my own discomfort in saying this is how it's going to go. And I think the more we seek those sort of safe forms of discomfort, the more, when discomfort or strange things happen outside of that, the more our brain is prepared for it and saying, no, 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 it's fine, you're safe, everything's okay. This is just another human
Yeah,
being, and we're all connected in this openness. So
yeah.
we're pushing away that fear and making room for more of that intimacy and love and all the things that make us so connected as humans. So
I love that you said that. Isn't it so interesting that the thing that we desire most as human beings is just to be seen and heard and to be recognized, and yet that's like the thing that we sometimes fear the most,
it's
you
terrible.
know?
Yeah, like, who wants to be seen for who they actually are? Uh, but
Yeah.
beautiful to be seen for who you actually are,
Right.
and accepted and loved in that capacity, in that space.
And I would almost say that that is for me the definition of love. Like literally
Yeah.
the willingness and the ability to see the other person as who they are and be seen
Yeah.
as who I truly am and accept each other.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I think
It's that, yeah.
you're doing that. I mean, you are a sun. You are pouring energy into everything that you do in such a giving and generous way.
Oh my God,
To
you're
your
so
fans, to your family, it shines through, and the world is so much a better place for it. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your energy with us all.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah.
Truly honored, truly honored. And I completely forgot to tell you this before we started recording. I asked people to nominate other people that I should talk to. Alternatively, I can offer it as like a space where you can honor somebody, where you can say, this is a person who's helped me to become fearless. And whether or not I reach out to them is up to you.
I mean, there's so many people that I feel like I could nominate, but the first person that comes to mind is my wife. You know, she's really, you know, she's my best friend and my soulmate. And, you know, I feel like she has been instrumental in, for me, developing my courage to another level. You know, and a lot of times when I'm sort of spiraling in my own self-thought and this navel gazing and just kind of, you know, especially an actor neurosis, you know, her being a scientist of the brain and an artist, I feel like has been a really good person to, you know, bridge the two sides and provide me a fresh perspective. So that's really helped me. And I mean, look, for all women, I feel like they're the bravest people in the world. And for mothers who's given birth, my God, I mean, talk about courage. That's something that I or any other man can never come close to. So I want to just thank and acknowledge her.
That is beautiful and well put. And, you know, for people who are looking to find out more about who you are, what you do, if there's any place that you want to plug, any upcoming things that you want to push, feel free to do that now. And also, I just got to put a little plug in for you because James has been incredible in helping men find you have a hashtag finding fatherhood, which I think is so important, and finding their voices in vulnerability and emotional intelligence. And as much as we honor women, and we need to, let's be clear about that, there's also so many societal pressures in shaping young men and in this country that are difficult to overcome. And thank you for taking on those challenges.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, that's something that I do feel really passionate about, creating a space and a safe space for men to, you know, be vulnerable and be authentic and also be able to support each other to become their best selves. So, but yeah, I think I have a few projects coming up. A movie on Netflix called Yes Day with Jennifer Garner and Edgar Ramirez, and that's a fun family film. So I believe that's coming up around the holidays, maybe around Thanksgiving or so. And then a new show on HBO called Lovecraft Country. It's J.J. Abrams and Jordan Peele's collaboration, and incredible creator from Misha Green. And yeah, very genre blending show that combines sci-fi, mystery, thriller, but all also set in the civil rights era. So.
Well, a little bit of everything. I am super looking forward to seeing your work. Thank you again for being with us. Truly a gift.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.
James, my pleasure. Take care. Be safe.
Okay, bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's conversation with James Kyson. We went to so many fearless places. It is your turn to decide who inspires you to be fearless. So go out, have a fearless chat of your own. Instructions and questions are posted each week on my blog. Let's be sure to check them out. Share your own chats using the hashtag fearlesschat, and let's all make room for more growth, more fun, and more connection by becoming fearless. Until next week, stay fearless. You likely know him from his work on Hawaii Five-0, Justified.
Rebecca, can I stop you really quick? Sorry,
Yes.
so sorry.
No, you're fine.
No. Sorry. Oh my God, I had a smoothie earlier, right before and I just wanted to make sure that there was like some weird, there wasn't like some weird glaring like.
Are you trying to tell me something? Because now I'm like looking in my camera going, are we good?
Okay, I'm good. I was like,
that,
I know, like I should have done like a mirror check before, but I'm like, I don't want like a big spirulina just like hanging out.